Hey everyone, my name is Caitlin Glass, and I am the English voice of Winry Rockbell in the anime Fullmetal Alchemist. And I am here today on BAM Collectibles to let you know you're about to see a pretty cool unboxing of my friend and yours, Edward Elric. And this figure is almost life-size to the real Edward Elric, because like Ed, this figure does not like to drink its milk. And if you don't drink your milk, you're always going to be the size of a bean. Or so says Winry. I really hope that you enjoy it. Hello to all you subscribers out there. Thank you so much for watching. And if you're not a subscriber, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and do that before this video is over and see more amazing and cool and fun figures and collectibles. I collect stuff too, so I think this channel is super great. If you feel like following me, be my guest. You can find me on all the social media things and also YouTube at Caitlin's Voice. I hope you enjoy. Bye, guys.
Caitlin, thank you so much. All the links to all of her social medias will be in the description below. Hey everybody, this is BAM Collectibles back here for another statue unboxing review for you. It is not every day that your favorite anime gets a statue made for it, and today is that day. So not many know, Naruto and Fullmetal Alchemist are tied half and half for being my favorite all-time animes. To begin this review, we'll kick it off with taking a closer look at the base. We'll take this section by section. Stick around to the end so you can find out how you can have a chance to win this Alphonse Elric figure that I will be unboxing and showcasing on my secondary channel. In the center, we'll see the transmutation circle that Ed and Al used when they were doing the human transmutation in the beginning of the show. Also, we'll see all these different alchemy effects, kind of electricity looking effects that are surrounding the sides of it. To the right, we'll see the metal peg that attaches to the bottom of Ed's foot and mounts him to the base, and I love how the rocks are creating a circle around it as well from all the power in this ability. The front part of the statue, we'll see the ground has split in half, parted the ways from, again, the power and strength that's coming from Ed's final ability as he's facing Father. There's that large seam line there. Not a big deal because it's on the side, you don't see it. And there'll be 5 different notches here that later some rocky fists will be busting out of, and we'll slide those in there. Turning this around to the direct back, at the very bottom, hidden well, is the access panel to see and pull out the LEDs. It's powered by that single micro USB port that you see, and the LEDs themselves are primarily going to be this round disc you see here. Also, there's some wires that lead in there. There are also 2 additional strips that light the front of the statue. Now, thank goodness for this access panel, because it actually sparked the idea to custom light this statue with some LED strips that I have. So stay tuned soon. I'll show you how I installed that and have those in here. They'll actually give a nice effect to everything. We'll see the other 5 notches for the other 5 fists. Included from Oniri is about like a 3-foot long micro USB to USB cord. Get that out of here. I have a 10-footer that I use for my statues because you usually need it to reach a good outlet or to display it. So that's what I use here. You can see there. And I have them in my Amazon store, BAM Collectibles Amazon, if you ever need to pick up some of those longer versions of those. But we'll get this plugged in and take a look at the initial LEDs that come stock with the statue. First things first, they do the job, right? They light up the transmutation circle beautifully, and it also illuminates that little part in the front there. So overall, a great effect, but I have these lights here that we're going to be using to make it look better. If you've never seen my custom LED tutorial, I'll link that up here. It'll pop up now. But what I did initially is take out these 2 cords that are in the front of the LED disc, and I'll put those wires over here to the side and put this whole unit over here to my right. This black piece on the back is actually a giant sticker, so what I'm going to do is peel it back. I already did it beforehand, so it's easier, but it takes just a little bit of force, and you can peel it off, comes off nicely, and we're going to access this part of the statue right here, because first I need to illuminate that front part with my custom LED lights. What I did is cut off the connecting end of this LED strip so that I have a flat point that I could just shove in here. And by the way, this takes no electrical ability or no soldering, nothing special. Just out of the box, I'm using these and I'm shoving them in there just a little bit so it pokes through the front there. And I grabbed some and pulled it through. Then we're going to hide it in the center, put that sticker back, and then we'll go ahead and get everything lined up in the front the way that I want. With the little strip that I pulled through, because it's not going to take that much, I'm going to go ahead and grab one of my screwdrivers, be extremely careful, and kind of poke and push it into the position that I want to so that it's illuminating it and not showing too much cord at the same time. Also, the reason I have the lights turned on is just so I can see roughly what the effect looks like and make sure it's looking as the desired outcome that I want. With those into place, we'll go ahead and take a look around back, and all I'm gonna do is literally take the wire and shove it inside of this whole inside area. And so we're gonna do this really quickly to not waste as much time, but that's as simple as that. I'm just shoving this wire in here, and I want all of the white LED strip to go in here and leave the wire exposed at the end, as you see here. The wire that's exposed here is more durable, so as I'm going to shove that LED strip part back there, the part that kind of hides this, the rocky part, you don't want it to poke against the LED strip because it could end up cutting it if you push it too hard. So I'm going to just push it really gently until it goes into place. It doesn't sit perfectly flush, but it doesn't need to. It doesn't show any lights, and this is about as good as we're going to get it with this custom effect. Again, that little gap there, but no big deal. These lights cost about $40 to $45, and again, you can find them on my Amazon store if you are looking for it. We'll go over the different effects here. We're gonna have 4 different effects because there's an app that you use to control these, and you can see how you can control them in a fast or slow manner, but these are the different effects. Let me know in the comments below which effect you like best. Overall, you're gonna have to make a personal judgment whether spending the extra money is worth it to you to get the effects of the LEDs. I'm not gonna say it is, I'm not gonna say it isn't. I'm just gonna say that it looks better and I enjoy it, and it gives you a lot of different options to uniquely display your statue. With the LEDs out of the way, we'll take a look at the additional rock effect fists that were included. And right here, you'll see an amazing looking texture that is sculpted all throughout here. This is kind of what we think of when we think of, transmutation or forming or warping rocks to make it look like a specific object. On the bottom, it is felt and nice and soft, so it'll sit against any surface you have, like a table, without scratching it. Over here, this part goes smooth. The part that kind of slides into the statue goes from that texture part to the smooth. It's numbered as L1, so it's the left side first part. With that reviewed, we'll go ahead and install all 10 different ones. And for those that have never seen it before, I actually have a tattoo on my arm, and it's actually what I would call a bro tat because me and my brother have the same tattoo, and it is of Fullmetal Alchemist. I told myself I would get one tattoo in my lifetime, and I've managed to stick to that exact one. If you want to see a picture of it, I'll actually go ahead and throw one up on my Instagram soon if you want to take a look at that. If you haven't followed my Instagram, you could check it out and throw a follow there as well, but I'll just kind of share that exclusively up there if you want to take a look. You can definitely tell this is an anime statue because it's over the top with its diorama and base. While if you ever seen like other hero statues out there, it's more character focused. So that's one thing I love about anime statues themselves. Now, one cool thing that they actually did here that you can actually choose is this piece and this piece right here on both sides. If you want to make it less wide, you can take that off, or if you want to make it shorter, you can take the top one off. So that's your decision. You can kind of really remove those and it won't hurt the statue overall. But if you keep it all together like this, of course, it's more rounded and balanced. In comes Ed Elric, and it is such an incredible sculpt. Oniri did over-the-top job with this one. The head did come sculpted separately, as you saw. We'll attach it just so it doesn't look so strange. And going from the boot up, you'll see the paint job is immaculate. They have the perfect amount of texturing going on with his jeans as well. Well, I say jeans, but I mean pants. And if we look over here, we'll see the official State Alchemist watch that is dynamically flowing up in the air. Over on this right side, if we flip this under, we'll find the hole or the notch where that metal peg is going to key into and allow him to attach to that base. Now, because the character representation on this statue is so small, they really did a good job at packing in as much details and attention to the character sculpt as they could, and they succeeded so greatly. Oniri did such a good job with this. I'm impressed for being my first statue from them. Crazy how raw and irritated the skin is from where the automail typically sits, and we'll see the different pieces of metal that are still in there. I'm guessing that allow it to mount there. And looking at his face, his hair perfectly sculpted with that center piece of hair that's always there, but the blood that's dripping down his face is just the right amount too. It doesn't make it look too gory. This is the sockets where the arms will let it attach. You can see how larger that one is compared to the other side as well. The reason it's so large is because they actually needed to support a large magnet that you'll see in this arm to support heavier pieces like this coat that's flowing from off of it. This arm right here was actually sculpted separately, and also you'll see that the coat sleeve up there to the top right, you'll see kind of a seam line there that was sculpted separately as well. I truly love how dynamic and in motion everything is, and they didn't go over the top with the texturing with this, which I can really appreciate because it's not something I'd want to be too much. Here is a piece of the automail. There's two arms that include the automail or the prosthetic metal arm for him. Yo, serious props to whoever sculpted this, the 3D artist for this. Just an incredible, detailed sculpt down to every nut and bolt that you see on this arm. And the second arm has a much different position. What I love about the character sculpt for this so much is the fact that you have so many different options available to you in ways that you can display it. With that said, we'll go ahead and show how these attach to the body. Now, this part, if you own this statue, it is a little tricky how to get it into that socket. You have to hit it at a certain angle, and obviously this one is much easier. Because this right arm is in the backhanded position, we'll go ahead and remove this piece of automail and attach the other one. This is just about my desired look for the statue, but it is missing one thing that I'll show in just a moment. That would be the alternative head sculpt that was included. That's right, 2 different head sculpts. Now this one has a ton of emotion that we can see all throughout that face. This scene and moment in the show is so unforgettable, and I feel like they captured it spot on, both the anger and rage that was going through him at that moment to try to take out Father. To further add to the customization options, we have 3 different arms, and this first one is like he just got done clapping and he's pulling his hands back a little bit. And one thing I love about these arms is actually there is a little bit of blood dripping down from when we pull those steel rods or those row bars right out of his arm, you know, when he was pinned down by them. That was a really cool detail, and this is an amazing detail right here. Ed's arm was trapped in the Gate of Truth for such a long time, and obviously wasn't being able to take care of it, and we'll see how long those fingernails are because it just came from there. So again, really cool touch on Oniri's part on adding that to the hand. Here we'll see all the different ways that you can display him. I'm going to end up going with the last version. I know it's not accurate for the exact scene, but I feel like this is how Ed looked for what, 99.9% of the show. And so this is how I want him to be represented for my statue. And here is how he looks with the custom LEDs. As if the statue wasn't already dynamic and energetic as is, it just takes it to a whole nother level. Like I said in the beginning, if you want to have a shot to win this Alphonse Elric figure, go ahead and visit my secondary channel, BAM Cards and Stuff. Subscribe to that channel, leave a like, a comment in that video as well, and follow me on either Instagram or Facebook so that we can message afterwards for the winner. The winner will be announced in the next 5 to 7 days. This statue is no joke, one of my holiest of holy grails in my collection. I don't even want to think about it ever leaving. I'm so thankful to finally have it here, and even more so to be able to showcase it with everybody. I hope you enjoyed it today. Be sure to subscribe to the channel for more awesome statue unboxing content. And as always, do what you love and love what you do. BAM out.